Welcome back to another episode of Pile of Mopars. Today we're going to try and get these two trucks running. They look like they should. They've got recent plugs and wires and that kind of stuff, and I was told that this green one especially had ran in the last 3 years, so we'll do a bit of hot wiring and run out of a gas can because I need to prep this one to sell. So that'll be today's deal. I just can't get over how straight these trucks are. You know, overall, just such clean trucks. This one's got a couple little dings here. There's one here and a little bit there, but minor stuff. And the roof's got some stuff too going on. But they seem to all have that. You know, 60, 70, 80 years of work truck. That's just the way it goes. But anyway, we're gonna get this hood open. Spring-loaded levers here. There should be. Sit up. My buddy Mike, who sold it to me, one thing he really pointed out, because he's had a lot of these and it's really hard to come by, is this center seam is just perfect. You know, usually they're all mangled on either end and bent, and the rivets coming apart because they are riveted down the middle. But anyway, it's so clean. So anyway, here's the deal. Truck's pretty complete. I'll run a gas can down to that fuel pump and run a wire to the coil. And I bought a 6-volt battery the other day because I knew this would be an issue, trying to get it running without the 6 volt. So I'll sell that with the truck I sell, because this one will be a Cummins, and of course that'll be 12 volt. One thing I'm realizing just working on these things is you got a long fender to reach across to get at the engine, you know, to get in here like this. But these things are so solid, I guess you could probably stand or sit on there anyway, but interesting. Okay, we'll grab the battery I picked up. Right there, 6 volt. And of course there's no handle, so I'll have to put the phone down. Bit of a reach around to get it over this bar and in, but not too bad. I managed. So we're just gonna hook up these wires. I'll clean these here, these posts or cables. Hook it up, and then I'll run a positive wire up to the coil, because I got a key. I mean, there's two trucks, I only got one key, and I can't remember which one it goes to, and I can't seem to find it at the moment. So I'll just run a power wire to the coil and, you know, hot wire it and see what happens. Oh, we should check the oil. Focus on there. Yeah, it's full, and it's not too dirty. Kind of hard to see where it goes down here in the block though. And then what's this rad look like? Kind of neat, the caps outside of the hood and the cowl. Yeah, it's got fluid in there. So this one is the truck I'm keeping, but I want to qualify it as a runner as well, because I will be selling the chassis and the stock setup to somebody, and I might have to, the other carburetor on the other truck is sitting loose, so I might have to pull this one off and use it on the other one. So I just want to, before I pull this apart, just qualify it as a good runner. That way whoever buys it can know that. So here we go. Okay, battery's in, hooked up. Run the jumper from the positive to the coil. Let's see if we got any action inside here. Of course, it's a foot pedal, eh? This is how you start it right here. Pushing that in, so make sure we got, it's in neutral. And I just want to see if it's going to turn over for us. There it does. thing about 6-volts, it always amazes me because they turn over so slow, and it's like, man, this thing's never going to start a car. But it usually does. I guess maybe it's because these engines are, 6 or 7 to 1 compression. But anyway, I'll get the fuel hooked up and prime the carb and see what happens. I primed the carburetor a couple shots, and it doesn't even seem to be getting any spark. So Shauna's going to try running the starter pedal, and I'm going to look at these points here. Okay, go Shauna. Okay, you got to hold it down. She's trying to wedge herself so she can use her foot instead of her arm. It is fairly stiff pedal. Yeah, go ahead. Okay, try again. Okay, stop. Okay, that's good for now. Well, we got no spark down there, so I'll try fiddling with the points and deal with that. Well, I don't seem to be having much luck getting these things running so far. This one here, the points are probably needs points put in. I had that off, and the points were not closing. The spring has lost spring tension, and so probably due for a new set there. The main thing is I want to get this one running, since this is the one that's going down the road. But same story. Although the points and everything look better on this one, I'm not getting any spark so far. Gotta probably switch out the carburetor, or at least pull this off and check it out, because it's missing some linkage and stuff, so make sure it's clean inside. And then these wheels, they've got adapters on them. That's one reason they stick out so far from the fender, but these aren't going with the truck. These are originally H1 Hummer wheels, off a military version. As you can see here, right there, some military spec tires, and these are Goodyear Wrangler RT2, and they're 16 5-inch. They got a nice looking tread on them, and they're in good shape. So Tyler wanted me to keep those around, so we will put the original style wheels on, and just in preparation for sale. And then I got 3 boxes with these trucks. I got to figure out which box I'll put with it, and yeah. And incidentally, upon closer inspection, this is the original paint from 1947, which is pretty cool. The fenders included. It's all the original paint, so it's got really killer patina. And initially, because of that, this is the one I wanted to keep, but upon closer inspection, that's a much cleaner, nicer truck, even though it looks like crap. And I also contemplated taking this winch bumper off and switching out with the other truck, but I'm not sure if I will or not. There's a fair bit involved with the shafts and the PTO on the side of the tranny and stuff, and I'm not even sure that would mate up with the new Getrag 5-speed I'm putting in it. So I might end up just making a similar setup but with an electric winch. So jury's out still on that one. We'll see, but this is pretty cool being a factory winch truck. And you can see inside the lever. This is the winch lever, and it's got little stoppers here, but that's engagement of the winch. So, and then of course you put the stopper down to keep the winch from coming on, engaging when you're driving. But I'm contemplating leaving that in there. I think I'll get a bit more for the truck, and it's original to the truck, and I don't think I'll be able to use it, but I'll do a bit of measuring. I put these headlights off that truck onto this one, These are, although they look similar, the correct ones taper to about here. So those would be the ones I put on the other truck. So I'll let these go with this truck. But yeah, such cool rigs. Well, I must say, these look like a pretty high quality adapter. I've never dealt with them before. I didn't know what to expect, but I figured these had to come out. So, and here we go. Oh, there's the dog. I'm hoping, kind of looks like these are the stock lugs. So I want to put the stock wheels back on here. So I think I'll pop those off and I think we'll be good to go. Well, I got to tell you, these trucks are fighting me so far. So in trying to find a socket to get these out, every socket I've got, I got to measure to see exactly what size these nuts are, but every socket I have is too thick in the wall. So I can't get it in there to get the nuts off. So I might have to go get a socket, but man, what a colossal waste of time that'll be. I called around to a few neighbors looking for a thin wall socket. Looks like it's 1.5 inches, but they just don't give you much space in here. So what I did is all my bigger ones were all thick walls. So I got this on the grinder and cut it down. But as you can see, it's extremely thin on the edges there. But anyway, it seems to work. So I was desperately trying to avoid driving 45 minutes to the auto parts store to try and find a socket. So we'll see if this stands up for all 4 wheels. Well, that did the trick. Got the adapter off. We're left with the hub. And these were the stock nuts. They were just on reverse. So that's good. I'll use them to put the stock wheels back on. And of course, a little bit of a brain fart. Wasn't thinking left-hand thread. I always think of the muscle cars in that respect, but yeah, trucks too. Anyway, the socket held up, and that'll do the trick, hopefully. Nuts weren't that tight, so I hand cracked them because I didn't want to split this socket down the edge. It's pretty thin, but anyway, it worked out. Welcome back to Pile of Mopars. It's been admittedly probably a month since we did the Camaro video. We've had some new issues come up here at the homestead. I was reported by one of the neighbors with regards to having too much stuff in my yard and cars and etc. And we do our best to keep that hidden, and because we knew this probably this day would come soon or at some point. We've been here 24 years, and we've lasted this long, so we probably did pretty good. Anyway, city officials came by and said I have to get rid of a bunch of stuff, and they've been good about it so far. They're giving me time to deal with it. Of course, it's the middle of winter, so it's it makes things hard, especially. But I have been selling some stuff, lower end projects that it's not such a big deal, but. So anyway, we're trying to comply with that and keep them satisfied. But what they allow is 4 unregistered or uninsured cars on the property. I'm well over that, and even with the stuff I'm going to sell, I'm still going to be well over that. So we've either got to look at more storage solutions. They're okay with unregistered cars as long as they're undercover. So we're going to look into some storage solutions for here. Otherwise, we might move. We're thinking maybe we outgrew this space. We got 2 acres, but we only use the center acre. And it's even though I'm out in the country, it's still zoned as residential. So I got the same rules as anybody right in the middle of town. So anyway, we're looking at acreages. Maybe a little farther out. Depends on affordability and how far we want to travel, etc. So anyway, the progress on the projects has been slow just because you know, we're trying to deal with this, and you know, selling cars and moving junk and stuff is not necessarily something you want to, you know, you need to video or people even want to see. So progress has been slow on anything just because we've been dealing with this. So just a little channel update. Appreciate everybody who hangs in there. You know, it's just another hurdle. It's not the end of the world. We'll figure this out. But in the meantime, it makes the videos a little sporadic because we're doing all kinds of other things, you know, behind the scenes. So I'll put a couple clips in of two of the vehicles going. And then the other thing is I started off this video with, you know, will it run on one of the flat fenders? And, you know, I've been messing with that. But of course, I've got the whale here. And so any work I want to do, I've got to do underneath unless I put both cars outside. And the power wagons are too tall. They won't fit under there. So therefore, I'm working outside. And of course, middle of winter and cold and snow, it's not ideal. So progress has been slow on that too. So I'll show a little bit of what I got done there. Otherwise, like I said, we'll just, you know, hop all over and see what I can do. But I am preoccupied with cleaning up the pile of Mopars. 1990 is going away. Young guy out of Creston. Loading it up, and first of many that are going away. There she goes. Well, another one leaves the pile out of necessity. It's amazing how nobody wants this thing. I advertised it for so cheap, hoping for it to go to a good home. But in the end, it is what it is. I have to get rid of these cars off my property, according to the local authorities. So unfortunately, I don't have a choice. And hopefully this guy doesn't part it out. He wants the bucket seats in the console, but in my opinion, way too solid of a car for parts. So some things are just out of your control. Well, that's it. Loaded up, heading up to Tappan Salmon Arm area. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, old monocle. My stepdad had a monocle.
Oh yeah?
4-door, 318.
They're awesome cars.
Oh.
That's what he's got. His is a 4-door.
And it too,